There we go. So it's up and running. Welcome, guys. I did a bit of tie-in for Semperfly down at Caerphilly on Saturday. And one of the questions I was asked was, how do you not trap the hackle down when you're tying a Klinkhammer? So we'll go ahead. Let me swap the cameras again. So the first fly I'm going to tie is a Klink. Swap cameras. There we go. All in focus. Yeah. So first thing you do is catch on your tying thread. Run it down around the bend. If you keep it at a 45-degree angle each time the thread hits the tag, it should slide down to butt up against the next one. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. You just run it down around. This is on a size 14 Klinkhammer hook, so perhaps I should have tied this on a 10. All the way around. Cut off your waist tag. And the dubbing I'm using, it's a K-pock. Same as the dry fly dubbing in cream. Let's pull some out. Well done with the dubbing needle. I dropped it on the floor. Pretty nice stuff this is. K-pock. Do any of you guys use this?
No.
No. And dub it on. Wet your finger and thumb and twist it in the same direction. That was another question. How do you apply dubbing? So on your first initial turn, see the way it grabs it there, just tighten it back up again. Another turn, tighten it, another turn. And just keep applying your dubbing. To form your body. There we go. Now the wing post, just like an aero wing. They do it in white, they do it in pink. So depending on what the light conditions are, you can have it in white, pink, grey. Wrong way. Grey. But I'm using the cream. So tie it in a couple of turns around so it's secure. There we go. Perhaps a bit too much there, but never mind. And the hackle, it's a badger hackle. I've pulled off some of the fibers on the bottom here. and I've took a few leading fibers from the inside edge. So if you offer that up to the hook shank, no, don't want to play. Little trick. If you're having problems with it, tying it in, if you spin your thread anti-clockwise, then your thread will jump backwards instead of forwards. Like that. And then tie it in. I can trim some other ways because there's a fair length to it. And then take it up the hook shank, up the post. And if your post is bendy and weak, you can always put a little tab of super glue on it, and it'll make it more pronounced, more stable. That should do the job.
That's what all the women say.
Say again, Phil?
That's what all the women say. Make it stand proud.
Now the body, you know how brittle peacock herl is? We'll pull a little bit out. You know how brittle peacock herl is? And the simple way of testing it, where you've pulled it off the main stalk, grip onto that, and then just slide your fingers up it until it hits a weak spot, and it'll just snap. Oh, somebody else is coming in. Let's look. Let me let him in. There we go. So, yeah, we know how brittle it is. Well, Andy's come up with a cracking bit of stuff. Fritz, peacock fritz. So just bare the stalk, tie it in. Wind it. Bring your thread, tie it off, and there's your body. So park your thread behind your post, and now you can turn your hook in the vise so that the post is parallel, and then you can wind your hackle. And you'll know if you've gone too far because the fibers will want to go downwards. And if that's the case, then just take a wind back. And that looks okay to me. So tie it in, one in front, one behind. What's it like on that on your side? That's looking good. You can trim that. and then you can do your whip finish. There we go. Dubbing needle. You can now put your post back upright.
Your focus has gone a bit there, Dale. There it is. Back.
How's that?
It's back.
And then just trim your post. How's that? I've trapped a couple of fibers down, but you can just trim them off. Everybody happy with that?
Very good.
I just put all.
Derek,
Say
Derek,
again?
which side of the feather goes upright? Points up the way.
I have the good side of the feather facing me. There's a good side and a bad side.
Yeah.
That's the bad side. That's the good side.
Right.
So it's generally darker on the good side. I'd have that facing upwards.
Fine. Thank you.
Plus, you'll find as you wind it, the fibers are facing up. If you do it the other way, sometimes the fibers face down. Chuck all this lot back in here. So we're all happy with that.
Yeah.
Now, a question somebody asked on the group. He was a left-handed tyer and he struggles applying dubbing to the tying thread. So I'm going to tie for you a little baby sunfly. I get everything ready out there. Now leave your tag, the tag end of your thread, leave it quite long because you're going to use that as a body, as a rib, sorry. Once again, hold it at 45 degrees. And the thread should butt up to the previous wrap. I'll have to keep looking at the screen, see if anybody else is joining us. Now the tail, blackcock hackle fibers. So if you pull them at 90 degrees to the stalk, all the tips will align. See that? Tear it away. And offer it up for your length. So let's bring the thread up a little bit. That looks about right. Pinch and loop, pinch into your fingers, a wrap and pull upwards. Pinch into your fingers, a wrap and pull upwards. And that way you should have the fibers sitting on top of the hook shank. Just bind them down on the top. That looks pretty good. Please, son. Oh. There we go. Now, I'm a right-handed tire, so I presume applying dubbing, you do it the other way around to what I would do it. But you dub in, you hold it up to your tying thread, and you just wind it the one way. And keep winding it in the same direction. If you wind it like that, what you're doing is putting it on and taking it off. So just wind it in the same direction. I do mine anti-clockwise. A lot of other tires do it clockwise. Okay.
You should have to move.
Go on then. So once it's the dubbing has made that first initial turn, it should grip, and you should be able to then wind it forward. Bit more. Wet your finger and thumb. We got a bit of a lump there. Well, cut off your waist. Put a little tiny bit more on there.
That's not affecting your screen now.
No, it's fine.
No one you set with the lights.
So hopefully that's answered Paul's question about how you apply your dubbing. So now wind your waist tag of tying thread. Up in open turns. Through your body. Plus it'll give it a bit more durability. One in front, one behind. Then again. And take off your tying thread. Your hackle. Once again, I'm using a badger. I bared some of the hackle. You pull it to 90 degrees. Off that leading edge that you're going to wind onto, take a couple of extra fibers off. And tie it in. There we go. Take off your waist tag. You push your thread out of the way with your finger. I'm struggling to see here. Take off your waist. Now that leading edge, where I've taken it, it should allow the fibers to stand at 90 degrees to the body. You can help it by folding those fibers back, pulling them through your fingers and wrapping that around. Two, three, 4 turns, whatever you feel is right. I'll give it one more. Hold it upright. One behind, one in front, one behind. Now pull all those fibers out of the way. And then do your whip finish. There we go. And there is your baby sunfly. If some of the fibers get trapped, just flick them with your dubbing needle. Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
So hopefully that's answered Paul's question about the dubbing side of things, but it's hard to show because I'm a right-handed tire. It'd be, I presume we wind clockwise, whereas a left-handed tire would be winding anti-clockwise. So where I've applied the dubbing anti-clockwise, I presume Paul would be winding it on clockwise. But yeah. So that's them done. Let me chuck all this lot back into the... Has anybody got any questions on that?
Yeah, I was going to ask a question about the sunfly itself, Derek.
Yeah.
When do you fish with those? What sort of season? Because I can't find it in my little book.
You'll find it represents a little gnat, a little black gnat. So okay. Any time when they're actually rising, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's an excellent river fly, the baby sunfly. It was designed by Reverend Powell. Funny enough, he used to, let me swap cameras a minute. There we go.
Right, thanks.
It was designed by Reverend Edward Powell, and he lives 10 miles down the road from Ludlow at a little place, or he did live at Munslow. He was the vicar at Munslow Church, and he designed 26 flies. If you look in the little orange otter book, all these flies are listed in there. Any other questions?
Derek, I got one.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about using quills?
Using
Quills.
well, as in a quill body.
Yeah. Can you, for argument's sake, could you use the two that you've just tied, the remains of those feathers? Could you use those for a quill?
Yes, you could. Oh no, what's it called? The Quill Gordon. That's used once you've pulled all these feathers off.
Yeah.
You're left with a stalk.
Sure.
and the Quill Gordon is tied with that stalk. It's yeah, it's tied with a stalk, and of course you give it a coat of varnish.
Right.
Wet it first, because it's quite brittle.
Right.
And it's snap.
Hot water.
Yeah, or hold in your mouth, but that's not a good idea. But
Yeah.
little bowl of water, stick it in.
Yeah.
And if you're tying with like a turkey biot,
Right.
put them in water as well. And before you use them. If you tie in, say, 10 flies, put 10 quills in the water so that it becomes soft and pliable, because they're quite brittle as well.
Right.
But the Quill Gordon is tied using. I'll see if I've got one here. Hang on, give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. There's a Quill Gordon. I'll do one of those for you.
Thank you.
Get a hook out. Let me swap cameras again. Let's put all this lot finish out of the way. Do that. Oh, dropped one. This is a size 14 dry fly hook. And we need a grey tie-in thread. Well, I haven't got a grey handy, so I'll use white. So catch on your tie-in thread. Chop the waist. This particular fly was designed by Theodore Gordon from New York back in the 1800s.
Right.
With the tail, grey fibres, grey cockhackle fibres. Once again, pull them at 90 degrees to the stalk, pull them off, swap fingers, offer it up to the hook shank, pinch and loop, tie it down to just before it starts to go around the bend, roughly between the point of the hook and the barb of the hook. That's probably a bit too long, that tail. Yeah, it's probably a bit too long. Let's take some of that off. So loosen it off and pull the fibers. That's better. I'm splaying a little bit, but now the wings, I'll tie the body off first. Need some fine silver or gold wire for the rib. We'll get it out of the bag here. There we go. And then just pull it to length. And take that down the body. The actual body this is what we were talking about earlier, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's peacock quill, and it's normally taken from the eye.
Right.
Just chuckle them back. You know the peacock eye. Well, if you put it the peacock eye fiber that you've pulled from the peacock eye, and then put it flat on a surface. I can't show you because the camera's facing at me instead of down.
Yeah.
But get a rubber, wet your peacock fiber, and then put it flat on a surface and rub it downwards from the tip to the bottom of the stalk, and it'll take all the fibers off. So you'll end up with a nice bare peacock quill. Let's get my wire out of the way. So you normally have this wet, so
Okay.
it's been soaking, and then you tie it in. Come up the body. And before you actually wind it, you could put a little dab of super glue on the body, and then wind your quill over the super glue.
Right. Yeah.
Now I tend to use my finger and thumb for this, so it traps it on the one side, but you can't see what I'm doing that way. So if I use my hackle pliers, and wind it in touching turns, you get that lovely segmentation.
Yeah.
And then hold it upright. Turn behind, turn in front. Turn behind, turn in front. And that should be secure now. Take off your waist. Now we've gone clockwise with the peacock curl. So now we go in the opposite direction.
Yep.
With your fine gold or silver wire. All it does basically is give it that extra bit of strength, because this is quite a brittle material. Once again, one behind, one in front, one behind, one in front. And then if you keep your tying thread tight, you can add, don't cut your wire with the scissors. If you do, use an old pair, but you can agitate it till it snaps, till it comes off, like that. Put this wire back in the bag.
Do you use that trick with the rubber only on peacock, or do you do it on any type of feather?
Well, it works with the peacock
Right.
curl. The peacock curl is very, very, very fine and very brittle. So
Right.
by wetting it and then rubbing it with a pencil, a razor, it should take that curl from the fiber itself. So
Right.
all you're left with is the fiber. You know, so they're like that basically.
Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Now the wing is bared wood flank. Or wood duck. And you want a piece, let me get rid of the waste. See, by pulling it at 90 degrees, they don't all line up. Can you see some are shorter than others? So what you want to do is pull them perhaps a little longer than 90 degrees so that they're lining up, yeah? Hold on to them and tear them off. And then you can fold it. There. So pinch and loop. Trim your waist. Go back to where you tied it in. Lift them upright and put a couple of turns behind, and it'll make them stand up. That's probably a bit too long. And the hackle, it's normally a medium blue dun cock hackle. And you do the same trick as you did before. Pull it to 90 degrees. There, so you can bear some of those fibers. And then tie it in. There we go. Cut your waist. Take your tying thread back behind it. And you can actually split your fibers. So that forms your wings. So take a turn in between, through the middle. Figure of 8 wraps. And then you can wind your hackle. So if you do 2 or 3 turns behind, then come in front and keep folding those fibers. Back. Up to the eye. One behind, one in front, one behind, one in front. Move everything backwards out of the way. Couple of turns. And then do your whip finish. Needle. Cut your waist. The wings way too long, but you can get you can see the idea behind it, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Derek.
That's all right. I'll just put everything back. Anybody have any other problems tying? Who's laughing?
Me. Malcolm.
Let me swap the pick.
What thread are you using, Derek?
Semperfly. Andy, give me some to try, and it's absolutely brilliant stuff. It goes on the hook, and you can spin it anti-clockwise, and it lays nice and flat.
Right.
It's like a double strand thread, so it splits easy as well. So if you wanted to do a dubbing loop, split the thread instead of doing a dubbing loop, you can split the thread. It splits nice and easy.
And is that on the market now?
Yes. If you go to semperfy.net, you can buy it direct from Anne.
Right. Thank you.
Because I asked Anne about about that. I dropped the... All right. I've dropped a hackle on the floor. There we go. Can hardly see that. Yes, you can buy direct off their website. I'm impressed with the threads, I really am. Everybody happy with that?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes, yes.
The quality they're tying in so good. I normally tie behind my desk and I've got a big magnifier with a light in it and I can see things a hell of a lot better. Anybody else have any other problems tying? You could talk to me, you don't have to be shy.
We're not shy.
So everybody happy?
Yeah,
We're happy with what you're doing. I think it's a good display.
Tidy. Anybody got anything else they want me to tie?
Anything you want to try, let's just have a look at it.
I'll do one of my little bloodworms. I did this on. That sounds like Pete.
Other bloodworms are available.
Yeah. I must ask Charles how he got on fishing them. I give him, he was going fishing the day after the road show.
He would have told you if he were duffers.
So I don't know how he got on with them. I'm sure he'll tell me. But it's a little grub hook, little curved grub hook, size 12. And it's a hot red or fire orange thread.
You got to do your camera.
I got to do my camera, thank you. There we go.
Thank you, sir.
So catch your tying thread on. Half a dozen turns. I'm going to get shouted at because I haven't got a little clag bag to put all my rubbish in. So it's all over the table, yeah. A bit of flexi floss, you know, the old.
Right.
Grab hold to the one end with your hackle pliers. Give it a spin. If you're doing it with your hands, you want to do it like 6 to 7 times. If I bring it down, so wrap it around your finger, back into your other hand, and it'll want to spin back on itself. Don't worry about the state of that for a minute. Pinch and loop, couple of turns. There we go. And if you pull the flexi floss tight, when you cut it, it springs back towards your tying thread. So if you undo There we go. Now I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to put the breathers in now as opposed to later on. And the breathers, you can use wool. I use shoelace. When you got an old pair of pumps you're chucking out, keep the shoelace. Well, I got one here. Yeah, I got one here. I'll show you that. Keep the shoelace. Oh. Oh, Paul's joined us from America. You get your shoelace and then just pull one of the fibers.
Yeah.
And just pull it out and you'll have enough to last you your lifetime from one shoelace. But as I was saying before, undo your, but it's all twisted on itself. And then slip your shoelace in. And you can tie it in a knot. Or you can hold it with your finger and thumb and put a little dab of varnish or super glue at that point there. So unwind it and then wind it again. And you get that lovely detached body. And then I add a little bit of red marabou. Pull it 90 degrees to the stalk again. And you get a load of claggy fibers here where you've pulled it from the stalk. Just trim that off like that. And just pick at it. And you'll get a load of waste come off. So you're actually cutting down on bulk. Wet your finger and thumb and just give it a roll. Just gives you a bit more control over it. And then trim it again. So you got a nice flat edge. Pinch and loop to get the fibers together. And just build up that little bit of a lumpy body. Don't need to be too fat. And then with you, do your whip finish. You do it in the center of the body. Remove your tying thread. And then if you use your finger and thumb as like a guide, a shield, you can tear it. Don't cut it. You can tear it And then just trim your breathers to the length you want them. That's my little Flexi-bloodworm.
Yeah, nice.
And it works.
That looks very, very good.
Because the movement in it with the extended body and the marabou in the tail. Yeah. I'll just change the camera and I chuck everything back. It's hard trying to run the meat in and do the tying at the same time. I could do with you, yeah, Pete. Give me a hand to put all the stuff by.
You can't afford me.
I got stuff absolutely everywhere, yeah.
Oh, you're a mucky tire, you are.
A mucky tire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Don't sneeze now, whatever you do.
No, but it'd be okay because all the stuff's over there.
Oh, you'd be all right.
Yeah. Tuck it all back. So yeah.
I have the biscuit here. Oh, the milk surface. I'm sorry.
All happy with that?
Yeah,
Lovely.
fine. Thank you.
What are we doing for time? 8 o'clock.
That was an hour well spent.
An hour well spent. That's it, Pete.
No, brilliant.
All right.
Brilliant, Dale. Thank you.
Take care then, guys.
Thank you,
Okay,
Derek.
mate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you
you
very
soon,
much.
Dale.
Thank you, Derek. Bye-bye.
Derek. Bye.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
My apologies, Derek, for my late arrival.
That's all right, Paul.
Yeah, company, they just left.
Yeah. I've lost my record button now for some reason. Where's that gone?
Yeah, I'll have a good look at the record.